had successful exits, all that kind of stuff. It's a fun journey. Entrepreneurialism is filled with, I always call it like the craziest roller coaster ride of your life, right? But Bump is really cool and unique just because it's going to allow and really, in our opinion, change the world for both users, creators, influencers, and then brands, small brands, small businesses. I mean, we're completely flipping the advertising game on its fucking head, essentially. Excuse my language, but it's crazy, when brands reach out to us and creators reach out to us and they see what we're doing. Everybody wants to be on our platform early, right? They want to be one of the first adopters. But it's just crazy what's happening in the flood of, especially brands coming on board, wanting to do deal flow with creators and, look at our new way of advertising, because we offer free advertising. Any advertising you'd pay on TikTok, YouTube, anything like that, that's actually free on our platform. So it's a totally new way of doing business. We operate off of an affiliate revenue model. So it's really cool. So really, really, really proud of it. And, I can't take the credit. I got the best team in the world. So.
Oh, that's awesome. And then tell us, what caused the mindset to go after creating a new app and social network? I mean, it's such a competitive space. So tell us more about that journey.
Yeah, it's really funny because, we're going through, rounds of investing and seed rounds and A rounds, all that fun stuff. But, we always get asked all the time, you guys are crazy, going after Google or going after YouTube. And I always pleasantly remind people that, TikTok came after YouTube, and TikTok's the biggest threat to YouTube, to Amazon, to Facebook, all of those, like, literally happening right now. It's crazy on what's happening. But it's amazing on what's kind of changing in the marketplace. But for me, I really saw it and I looked at it and I saw there's two main things happening in the landscape. One, creators who are busting their backs, putting out content, who are working their asses off all day long, every day of the week. And yet half of them are living in their parents', basement. And it's like, well, wait a minute, that's total bullshit. If you, people don't realize this, the average person with 1 million followers on YouTube is only making $55,000 from YouTube.
Wow. Yeah.
That's insane. Now, obviously they make a lot more money with brand deals and everything else, but that's insane. They should be making, $250,000 plus from YouTube alone. So that's what we set out to solve. We said, hey, you know what? That's bull crap. Google, YouTube isn't YouTube. YouTube is really Google shareholder tube, right? So, how do we maximize our earnings for our shareholders and screw the creators? And that's really what YouTube is. And when you really look at it, right now, YouTube, obviously they'll come back and say, oh, well, we created a platform for blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you did, but you could do so much more. I mean, I came from the food industry where your margins were 10%, not 90%. So our margins on Bump are there. We're a lower margin brand, but that's because we believe in the mission of giving back more to creators. And we put in monetization tools on our platform that really change the way that everything works for creators. So when a user signs up, they can decide if they want to share certain information with their creators or brands that they follow. And as a creator, you get to essentially have all of that information. So if I'm following you, Andrew, on your social platforms, and my profile said, hey, I'm okay giving away my email, my phone number, or my interests. You can pick, whatever, or as little or as much as you want. You get that info. And as a creator, that's so incredibly powerful. If you're a creator and an influencer and you're wanting to make, this a full-time job for you and, get out of your parents' house and get an awesome home and all that type of stuff, you need to be in that mindset of, okay, I need to create content, but I also need to understand the insights on how to monetize my audience more. And, being able to have that info. So, Andrew, if you talk, you talk about business, right, with your podcast and everything there, but you may also find out that I really like, cars, right? So maybe you find out that 80% of your audience that's following you also likes cars. So maybe I should do some car content, and it opens up your whole niche to go into all these different avenues, right? And really be able to find more ways to connect with your audience. So that's one thing. But then, at the same time, we also have all these other tools, right? We have private communities, so like Patreon built into our platform, right? That allows, users to subscribe to you for a monthly fee to get exclusive access to stuff. We have free communities. I mean, it's amazing what we have, and people don't realize this, but there is no way for a creator to interact with their followers on TikTok or on YouTube unless it's one of two ways. One, you miraculously find their DM, right, that they send you, and you have a one-on-one chat, which is really too hard for creators to do, especially at scale. Or two, you interact with them in the comment section of a video. And that's total BS. I mean, you as a creator, you want to be able to interact with your entire community on a much deeper level. So, we created communities, whether it's a paid gated community or a free community. You can bring, your tribe of people into that community. And that's really, really important. So that's the first one. The second one is brands. I'm a small business owner. That's where I started, right? I came from small business, and we don't have a $20 million marketing budget a year. Most brands are operating, small business, brands are operating on $10,000 or less a year, and that's on the higher end. So we said, okay, how do we adjust this? So on our platform, we have a shop, so you can add your products, D2C products on our shop, and then we will allow you to create 3 ads. And then we run your 3 ads and we figure out which ad is performing the best. And then we run that one ad on our platform. It's completely free. And it points users to the shop where they can buy that product. And then we take an affiliate commission off of that product. So we only win if you win. So our goal is to help you be as successful as possible. So that's a really interesting model that's never been done before on a social media platform at scale like this. And that's the route we want to go, because a marketing meeting for, a marketing manager shouldn't be going into a room filled with other people that don't know as much about marketing. And all they're doing is reporting, what are my, impressions, which don't matter. Impressions don't matter. Like, let's get real. Impressions don't matter, right? An impression isn't a sale. The only metric that really actually matters is sale or engagement, right? From like a comment perspective, if you're trying to grow the brand, right, and you're trying to get brand recognition, those are really the only 2 metrics, at least in our opinion, that we feel really matter. But they have to go through, and they have to say impressions and conversions and sales and comments and and likes and all these different things. And that's not what it should be about. A marketer, I came from marketing background and supply chain background and management background. Marketers should be going into a meeting, talk about how they're connecting with their consumer, how they're building a cult-like following, and how they're, building those relationships, not how many impressions did I get. But the current social media platforms in existence, that's what they gear everything to. They just want to suck money out of you. They don't actually care whether your product is successful or not. Their goal is to take money out of your pocket and into their pocket. Our platform is all about empowering entrepreneurs, empowering small businesses. Large businesses can do this too. It's open to any size, but our goal is to really help businesses reconnect with their consumers in a new way, how it should be done. And Gen Z and millennials, that's what they want. And they're getting smart, right? They're not valuing a sale anymore. They're valuing authentic connections. And that's what we aim to provide. So, that's a big element for our platform. So you have that aspect where they can create a free ad. But then what's even crazier is that because now they're not spending money on that free ad, right? Now they can go into our deal hub, which is where creators and businesses can connect to collaborate. And we have everything from, chat systems in there and everything in place. And we have options where creators can put all their different types of packages that they offer. We have, on the brand side, same deal. You can put what you're willing to offer. And then you can search and see creators that work within your specific niche, whether you're in food and beverage, whether you're in tech, whether you're in clothing. And then you can collaborate and work with them. And this is all free, by the way, right? So any other platform, that you go on, any other third-party platform that connects you, you're paying $2 to $6 grand a month. Ours is free. It's just free, right? And what our hope is that, hey, you'll post on Bump Social and join our ecosystem, but we don't require that. If you as a creator just want to get on Bump Social to have access to the Deal Hub and then post on your other platforms, you can. It's not the end of the world for us, but you'll see really quick. Anybody that's on our platform will see really quick. The opportunity for monetization on our platform is much stronger than any other platform in existence. Now, our platform is brand new. We don't have millions of users on there right now, but that's great because if you can get on, you're part of the early birds that actually get there and get to take advantage of being one of the first adopters. Which we all saw what happened with the first adopters of TikTok. They all grew like crazy. But we don't play any crazy games. All of our algorithms open source. We share them. We want you to grow. We want you to be able to flourish in this space and ecosystem. So tons of the people in our company are creators themselves. We have a creator equity program where literally 10% of our company is set aside to be owned by creators. We don't want this to be owned by Wall Street. We have no intentions of going that route. We want this to be owned by creators, and we want this to be an ecosystem that is designed for creators and brands to flourish.
Oh, I love that. No, it makes sense. And then what advice would you give to content creators to be consistent at creating new and relevant material month after month? What advice would you give to creators out there?
Yeah, it's all about being authentic, right? Everybody's always trying to, there's a couple different elements that play into this. One, all these platforms trying to be sneaky with their algorithms and making you it's almost like the freaking Hunger Games out there. It's just unreal. But so you have to deal with that, which is horrible. On our platform, you don't deal with all of that BS. We tell you exactly what our algorithm picks up and how it works. It's not based off of engagement really. There's a small component of that is, but 80% of it is just having the appropriate hashtags. And having a description if it's valid, and then having a location if it's valid. And that's really it. And we try to push all the content out as much as humanly possible. But, so we solve the algorithm piece for creators, but, the other big piece is just, really being authentic, right? There's so many creators trying to copy what other creators are doing. And at some point in time, almost everybody's doing a version of what someone else is doing. Cause it's kind of like songwriting, like how many rhythms can you honestly make before you're starting to kind of pull in other rhythms from other places. But, the key thing is just to totally be authentic and have fun with it and, be really passionate about it and, not focus on the follower count and the likes and stuff, off of the bat. Right? Treated it as like it's a fun passion project that you're doing it because you love it, regardless of whether or not, it goes anywhere or not. And normally those ones that are doing that are the ones that actually go somewhere and really grow it. And then, go on a platform that actually values you and cares about you. I mean, that's kind of why we created Bump, right? If you go on the App Store and you type in Bump Social, Bump Connect will pop up. And orange logo, white center, but join a platform that really wants to help promote and push everything you do. I mean, even creators have the shop function on our platform where they can add different stuff to their shop, whether it's shirts, merch, or whatever, to be able to go and push towards users for support for their channel. But, that's really where we want to go. That's, that would be the best advice I could give them. But, authenticity and really aligning yourself, with platforms that actually really care about what you want to do. I think that's really important. And I think there's a huge shift that's going to happen, right? And we're already seeing it. Instagram was the most undownloaded app, the most removed app of 2023.
Wow. Yeah.
It had the most undownloads. People are leaving these big platforms that really don't seem to care, that are constantly tweaking the algorithm, that are trying to be everything towards an elite few. And our whole platform, just our platform values authenticity. we're pushing that, and we have all kinds of fun stuff. We have challenges, call them BVB, so bumpers versus bumpers, but they're big, massive challengers. Everybody on the platform gets to vote. You get one vote per challenge to pick, your favorite challenge winners, and huge cash prizes. Literally, you get a bump stack of cash.
All right.
So
Nice.
ranges anywhere from $100 to $10,000.
Whoa. This is real
yeah,
money?
Yeah. What?
This is real money?
Yeah. Real money. Yep. And that's not it. You also get all kinds of other stuff within our platform and ecosystem too. So like winners, you're getting some really cool stuff. And it pays to be, some of the early people on, because you don't have nearly as much competition. There's a high school kid that just won the best trick shot challenge. And there were like, I don't know, like 50 videos submitted, which, yeah, I mean, like, that's the way to do it before you have, 10 million videos submitted, right?
Yeah, seriously.
So there's a whole rush, but yeah, no, I mean, we're aiming to have fun. Our whole platform is all about fun. It's all about engagement. It's all about authentic connections, and that's what we want to go and promote and push. And these challenges, any user can compete in. It's not like gated to creators only or anything like that. It's open for anybody. Even brands can compete. It's just a ton of fun. But that's what our platform, is really designed. So, really aligning yourself with the right platform, I think, is really important. But, having that and authenticity, I think, are two really big, key things, to be able to have and push.
No, 100%. And then tell me, so who are some of your mentors and inspirations that help keep you inspired and motivated during this journey while you're growing this startup, growing this app?
Oh yeah, my obviously family. I always say, my dad, my dad's a huge supporter. He's always believed in me, always pushed me. My mom, same deal. My wife is incredibly patient. Entrepreneurial is just not easy. The amount of sacrifices you go through are astronomically huge, right? And it just compounds and gets more and more stressful as time goes on, because it's not greener on the other side of the fence. I hate to break it to everybody, right? Even as you grow, you just get busier. There's this whole notion of like, let's, I would say, and easily place a bet that right now Elon Musk is more of a slave to his businesses than he ever was.
Interesting.
Yeah. So don't think like, oh, I'm going to be able to grow this and do nothing. Jeff Bezos was probably the highly unlikely outlier that just hung up shop and went on a yacht.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
But that's normally not the case, right? Yeah. But you do it, you like that, because for me it's not a job. I wake up every day wanting to go at this, right? I love it. So having a support group, it's really really big. I reach out, I get mentors, and I'm constantly looking, I'm constantly learning. I'm a lifelong learner. My background isn't in tech. I think it's a bunch of bullshit that you have to have always been in tech to go into tech. And same thing with any other industry. You can go into anything you want. You can go into anything. If anybody tells you otherwise, they're full of shit. Yeah. And so, that's the thing. Like, you just have to go and just go at it, right? And ignore the haters, right? And that's what we've done, and we've been incredibly successful. And we have an amazing team now filled with people of all backgrounds, tech backgrounds, investment banking backgrounds, you name it. We have people, and everyone in our team keeps growing.
Oh, that's awesome. No, it's good to hear about that. And then what about like, how will you know when your vision for Bump comes true? Like, what's your next milestones, end games you guys are going after?
Yeah, our vision always changes, because I don't think it ever ends. Our vision is kind of just looking at, what do we want to be 5 years from now? And then when we get there, hopefully, we have a new place where we want to be in 5 years. We're just always evolving and growing in that vision. But our entire platform, I mean, it is designed to be creator and brand focused, to connect with users on a completely new level. So that is the mission we will always go and take. Our philosophy is very different. Every single creator on the platform has my number, can text, can call me. All of our all of our executives have open availability. There is no crazy weird chain of command or anything like that. So we're really promoting an open platform ecosystem. We have tons of plans with some really cool AI, with some blockchain technology that's going to further grow and allow users and brands and creators even more control. So there's a ton of opportunity there. But so that's kind of where we're always looking. But our entire vision always is user, creator, brands first. Bump last. And everything we do is dictated based off of that mantra. So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And then tell me, based on your journey so far, what do you believe are the non-negotiable actions as an entrepreneur to help be successful?
Yeah, for us, it's really interesting. We want strategic partners. And, in the world of business, everybody is trying to take money out of your pocket and put it in their pocket. And, we don't play by those rules. And, it's always funny, we've gone through a pre-seed round, going through a seed round right now. And, you get spammed when you're in that type of a space. You get spammed with people. I was like, oh, I can get you introductions. I can get you introductions. I can get you introductions. And, and it only runs, $5,000. And it's like, okay, like introductions don't mean anything. I'll pay you for something that actually comes through. But if you think you're so good, you think you can raise funds. If you're a marketer and you sit there, oh, I can go and bring you X amount of exposure, and deal flow. Our message is, okay, so go and do that, and then we will pay you per the result. But no one wants to do that, right? Because the reality is they don't know if they can do it.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just full of it. So for us, like when we look for strategic partnerships, we are not willing to pay up front on a lot of stuff. We go off of a performance basis. That's a big non-negotiable, in our platform. Just like when we go to brands, we said, listen, we're not going to charge you for ad space, right? We're going to work with you to try to make it as successful as possible for you. And we only win if you win. And so that's a big mantra for us. And mark my words, that is literally where the world is going to go. And we're at the forefront of it. Our traditional advertising is going to be completely gone within, I think, 5 years.
Wow.
I think it's going to be completely changed. It's going to be affiliate advertising, and it's going to be, creator collaborations or user generated content, right? That's really where it's going to be and where it's going to go. And, we're at the forefront of that. We're driving it, we're pushing it. All these big corporations hate that because, that means less money for them and more money, for creators and more money for brands. But, that's our mission. We're there to support creators and influencers and brands.
Oh, it makes sense. I love that.
Yeah.
And then, so let's see, I'm trying to think. And just like, what's your overall favorite thing about being part of the Bump Social community, Bump Social team? Like, what are like your top favorite things with everything involved?
For me, it's all about the stories and the smiles. We talk to dozens of creators every day. We talk to small businesses, dozens of them every day. And our team has either been in small business, we've had our own small businesses, or we've been creators or are influencers ourselves. We know the struggle. We know the frustration and what it's like. And when we can go and tell a creator that, you know, if you have 1 million followers on YouTube or TikTok, you're making 40 to 60,000 on our platform with our monetization tools, we think we can get you to 500,000 before brand deals. The eyes just light up, and we show them, you know, the methodology and our thought process, and they love it. You know, they sit there and they say, "Oh my God, this is completely changing the entire social game and the entire advertising game, you know, for brands." And he said, "Yeah, like it's because we actually care about you." Um, and that's my favorite part, is being able to go and actually see these creators, these influencers, and these brands. You know, when we're talking and sharing the platform with them and kind of showing them, and you know, now you can download it yourself. But you know, like the Deal Hub and everything is behind the scenes, and you know that's launching in September. But you know, so if you're a creator or you know you're a brand and you sign up, then you know we'll reach out to you and say, "Hey, would you like a demo of the Deal Hub of what's coming?" And the light bulbs, just you see it facially. You know, light bulbs are going off, excitement's going off. They're sitting there saying, "Wow, you know what? Now I get to actually focus on telling my story." Right? If you look at the most successful creators in the world, if you look at the most successful brands in the world, there were much bigger creators of brands before them, right? There were they're often at a disadvantage, right? They didn't have the technology or the setups, right? You know, creators, you know, they're at a disadvantage because there's such a huge flood of them on there, and the algorithm's changing daily, and they're not being shared with the algorithm, and the platforms like YouTube and TikTok, Instagram don't actually support you as a creator. It makes it even harder for brands. I mean, it's just, you know, it's tough because you're a small business and you have a very limited budget, you know, and when you look at the brands, like let me bring up Lululemon as a prime example, right? Lululemon started after Nike. Nike was the powerhouse, the dominant player, had 1,000 times more cash, you know, 1,000 times more market share. But what Lululemon focused on 100%, their entire mission was community. Their stores had small yoga places in them. They have cafes in them. They focus on community. They're not focusing on the technology of their clothing. They focus on community, and that they focused on that. That is a huge aspect. And so when you look at the brands that really grew, that really got big, that were small niche brands, that's what they did. You know, and then on creators, you know, the creators that really grew were the ones that really focused on the authenticity. They didn't chase, you know, the hype trains of just the hot topic at the time. You know, they really focused on, okay, what do they really love? What is their authentic, you know, view? And then, you know, they're trying to figure out and align themselves. Well, how do I, you know, get closer to my consumers, which is really tough. You know, with these other platforms, Bump, totally different story, but it's really tough with the other platforms. But that's, you know, some of the main components to success in my eyes.
Wow, I love that. Well, we have a couple questions left here. This has been amazing, Austin. How can people contact you, learn more about Bump, get involved? Tell us about that.
Yeah. So mybumpsocial.com is our website. You can check it out. There's all kinds of amazing resources on there. It tells you what the app is, how it works. You can go, we're on Android, we're on iOS, just pump in Bump Social or Bump Connect, and we'll pop up. Should be at the top, orange logo with a white dot in the middle. If you want to reach out to me, Austin at bumpsearch.com is our email. And you know, always willing to chat with anybody. You know, we want creators, we want small brands, we want big brands, we want brands on our platform to be able to partake in this Deal Hub. You'll be amazed and shocked at the value you get out of this. Obviously, creators, come onto our platform. You have literally nothing to lose. We're literally offering you free cash.
I love it. And then, Austin, what's the one takeaway you want someone to have from this interview today?
Ooh, one takeaway. Don't forget about your loved ones. Thank them, call them, call your mom, call your dad, call your wife, call your kid, and just say, I love you.
I love that. Well, thank you again. Make sure to check out Austin at, you said Austin at bumpchurch.com.
Yep.
And then also go to mybumpsocial.com to learn more about getting paid more as a creator. So thank you for coming on today, Austin, and we'll see you all next week for the next episode of Rapid Results. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Cheers.